Okay, the last of our coastal management techniques. This is called managed retreat. Now, retreat means to go backwards. Okay, it's a word that often comes up when you're learning about waterfalls or wave cut platforms. It means to go backwards. Managed retreat is controversial. This person living on the coastline is protesting, and this plaque says, "Save my house." I promise you that's what it says. Okay? Save my home, because the local authorities, in this example, have decided to choose managed retreat, which means they are not going to do anything. Yep, they are just going to let nature take its course. They're going to let those destructive waves slowly remove sediment with their strong backwash and their weak swash. And eventually the beach will be eroded. Over time, this beach will slowly start to disappear until the waves are attacking the coastline. Okay? And eventually these homes will be eroded into the sea. Now, why would you do that? Well, one, this is the most natural thing you can do. It's the least disruptive to the environment. And fundamentally, it's the cheapest. If there's only two houses here, then they're not creating much economic activity. It's cheaper actually to just give these people that live here, you give them some sort of bursary, if you will, some sort of compensation. Maybe the government steps in and gives them 100,000. Because in reality, as soon as the government chooses managed retreat, these homes are now worth zero. Who's going to buy a house that's going to be eroded into the ocean in 5 years? So you give these people some money. You say, look, we're not going to spend the money to protect it. Go and buy yourself a new house. Okay? And that is really the kind of main attraction. It's a very cheap response from the government. It doesn't harm the environment. It allows longshore drift, erosion, transportation, and deposition to take place. What are the negatives? Well, I guess the negatives are, these people have lost their homes, they've lost their communities, they've lost their friendship groups. It has a big social impact on people. Okay? But apart from that, much of what this is positive. And this is why the government, unless it's a big urban area like Brighton or Blackpool, unless it's an area of high economic activity, this is now kind of what the British government is pursuing. Okay? And that's it. We call this managed retreat. The government lets nature take its course. Erosion takes place, and compensation is often given to humans that are affected by the government's decision. I like this one. I would definitely write about it if it asked me about soft engineering. Okay? I hope this has helped. What we'll do now is we'll find an exam question on coastal management, and I'll show you how I would approach it. So let's jump into that now. An exam question of us applying coastal management techniques into our writing. So here is our question. As always, we need to bug it. Box the command word, which is examine. It's not a very common exam word, but for me, you can substitute it for explain, okay? So check out my exam masterclass videos on explain if you need some support with that. We then see that advantages and disadvantages must be mentioned, so it must be balanced. And for me, this means that the connective we're going to need is however, because that allows us to talk about the advantages before bringing in the disadvantages. And it's about coastal defences. So this is the image. I'm going to flash it up quickly, pause it and have a look in detail as to what you think the coastal defences are. I'm going to break it down here. I personally don't love this image. My eyesight might be going, but the only ones I'm sure I can see are groins. The rest are kind of up to interpretation. There's some gabions there maybe. But to me that looks like beach nourishment, but I can't really be sure, so I'm a bit nervous about writing that in the exam. But the ones I'm sure are groins. There's potentially a seawall back here as well. Your eyesight might be better than mine. I don't love this image because it's not so clear. So let's check the mark scheme and see what we could have written. If we look at the mark scheme, we have got jumping out is seawalls, rock groins. I think this is some rock armor as well, and sediment may be being used to add sediment. Terrible sentence, but that's beach nourishment. So I think you're in the clear if you write about beach nourishment and groins, seawalls as well. Okay, so remember I said there are lots like rock armor, but if you remember 4, you should be in the clear. There is some AO3 and AO4. That's basically your point, and then your second is your application. So your use of connectors really gets you the AO4 marks. So what I'm going to say is this is your structure. Your point developed 3 times, and here at the bottom, however, to provide you with that disadvantage. Okay, I'm going to write one, and I'm going to encourage you to finish the essay, write the second paragraph or the second 3 sentences, and post it in the comment section, and then I'll be able to give you some feedback if I can find the time, which I should be able to. So let's get into my version. I did it on beach nourishment because I like talking about it. I'm confident in that. So one type of coastal defense in the image is beach nourishment. This is my point. Everything else that I write is going to be linked to beach nourishment because sediment is being added to the beach by the digger. So I'm showing that I'm using the resource to add the information in. Okay, keyword being sediment. So let's then apply it. Let's get those AO4 marks for our application. As a result, the sediment is being removed by the destructive waves, and longshore drift is being replaced. Okay, so I'm using my understanding of the process, destructive waves, longshore drift, replaced. Okay, well, that's all positive, isn't it? I'm showing that there is a natural process that is being kind of replaced by humans, and that's all great. So let's look at the however. However, this is unsustainable. Nice tier 2 word. Unsustainable means a pattern of behavior that can't be continued. It's unsustainable. And as it will need to be continuously replenished. We talked about in the video of the dog chasing its tail. This is what I kind of tend to think of as a metaphor for beach nourishment. You know, how long are you going to do this for? Are you going to do this forever? Okay. For me, that is enough to get 4 marks. And then if I write a second piece similar to this using the same connectives, I reckon I can get myself 8 out of 8. Okay, so have a go, post it in the comment section, and then see if you can get 100%. Like and subscribe for future videos. Check out the masterclass series on exam technique, and good luck in those GCSEs in the final few weeks.